Hi, it's Gordon out in the shop with another edition of the Unscripted Series. This week I'm going to talk about the nut and the saddle on the instrument and the fact that they float. Every once in a while, and remember this is the nut down here, this little piece of bone, and here is the saddle. We don't glue those into the instrument, and the reason we don't is that we believe a floating nut and saddle give us better tone. Now, I don't know anyone that glues the saddle in, so that's really not a question at all. Some people glue the nut in, and some people don't. And again, we think that the tone is marginally, very marginally better with it floating. And a nice second benefit is that if you ever need to replace it or repair it, it just comes right out. But every once in a while, we'll get a note from someone that says, "Oh, I changed my strings and the nut has come undone. How do I re-glue it, or do I need to send it back to you?" And I have to say, no, it's just floating in there. So the saddle just comes right out like that. It's in this slot. I haven't shaped this one yet, which is why it looks odd. And usually that won't come out. We do recommend that when you change strings, you do them one at a time. And part of the reason for that is that you don't want the nut or saddle to accidentally come out and get lost, chipped, broken, just have anything happen. And as long as 3 strings are holding them in place, then nothing bad will happen. So here's the nut. It hasn't been shaped yet either. This is the instrument I'm going to string tomorrow. But you can see here, I'll try to do it for the camera, see it just slide back and forth? So it freely slides. Now once you get the string tension in place, and the string tension is roughly even across the 4 strings, that doesn't move at all. There's a lot of pressure holding it down. But when you change strings, or if, I don't know, maybe it gets jostled sometime, that can slip a little bit. Don't worry about it at all. Just take your thumb and slip it right back into place. If the nut ever does come out, the way that you know which way is which, the main way I know, is that we shape the back of the nut in an arch. So the front of the nut comes straight up, and then the back is curved, beveled, or arched. So you can always look at it and put that arched end back towards the tuners. On the saddle, if it were ever to come out, obviously the curved end, again, I haven't radiused this yet, but there'll be one edge which is fully curved and shaped like that. That goes up, but how do you know if it goes like that or like that? And the way you know is that we put a little mark on the side of the saddle like that to indicate the number 1 string. So that's the number 1. The number 1 string is your A string, the furthest one from you. Saddle goes in like that. All right, we'll see you next week with another edition of the Unscripted Series.